All right, Nick, let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. This is a team that kind of, in a way, came out of nowhere last year. Everyone had them left for dead, but they make the playoffs and show that they are a strong contending team in the NFC. Truly, truly something fierce. And I think we have a story today to show how they are going to keep this train rolling, and one player in particular that's willing to do just about anything to make sure they do.
There's a lot of momentum in Seattle. I don't know if the Seahawks are getting the respect they deserve, but once the games start for real, regular season is right upon us. I think they'll impress people even more as they get ready to make another playoff push. But that leads me directly into my question today for you Seahawks fans to answer, as always, in the comment section below. Look, you've seen training camp, you've seen the preseason, you've had the whole offseason. Now's your last chance. In the comment section below, give us your prediction for the Seattle Seahawks 2023 season, wins and losses, down in the comment section. We know you guys are smart. We hear from you guys all the time. Seahawks fans, you guys are great. Show off your smarts. Give us your prediction for the Seattle Seahawks 2023 season in the comment section below. Right, Miles, what you got? What's this latest report out of Seattle?
Yeah, Nick. So we say the Seahawks came out of nowhere, but really one guy in particular on this roster truly came out of nowhere, and nobody expected Geno Smith to be the player that he was last year. He was absolutely stellar, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL last year, truly a surprise. And this is a guy that, everyone's like, can he keep it going? What is his secret? And he has come out and said that, yes, he can keep it going. He has a lot of tricks up his sleeve of how he is going to continue to keep it going. This is a guy that truly seems like a career that has been revitalized. But Nick, let's get on to the story and we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. This is from over on Bleacher Report. It says, Geno Smith's secret to continuing his newfound NFL success? Becoming a pescatarian. Very unusual, but let's hear him out. The Seattle Seahawks quarterback revealed to Peter King of NBC Sports that he's adopted a pescatarian lifestyle. I haven't had chicken or beef in 4 or 5 months now, Smith said. I've been eating really healthy, really clean. Pescatarians eat largely vegetarian diets with fish and seafood mixed in. They don't eat chicken or beef. So that is one way that Geno Smith has committed to changing his lifestyle, continuing the success. But another thing that he has tried to do this offseason, Nick, he said, after tying his career high with 366 rushing yards, Smith has said that he plans to incorporate his legs more this season. He says, I still don't feel like I really do enough of the on-the-move stuff. Being able to create off schedule, then being able to attack a little more in the red zone, that would be key. So, Nick, it shows that Geno Smith isn't complacent. He isn't sitting on his haunches saying, hey, I had a really good season last year. Let's just do that again. He said, no, how can I get better? I want to improve. I don't want to have just a good season last year. I want to have a better season this year. So he's innovating in his diet. He's innovating in his game planning coming into this season. And I am really excited about this Seahawks team going forward. But what do you think about Geno Smith and everything that he is doing, Nick?
So this is an interesting juxtaposition against what we're seeing from the Seattle Seahawks and what we're seeing from their division rival, San Francisco 49ers, and all the Trey Lance drama and how that totally went the other direction for San Francisco. And there's an interesting piece out of the Ringer today talking about everything that was behind Shanahan's decision in San Francisco to get Trey Lance. And his basic theory was in his offense, in that 49er offense he was running, is they wanted a guy who could move, who had better legs, who was maybe a little thicker, could be a little more less injury prone. Remember, they had Jimmy Garoppolo at the time, who wasn't a super mobile guy, didn't have incredible arm strength, was susceptible to injuries. They wanted a guy to raise their floor. So they basically gave up like 1 million draft picks. They gave 3 number ones and a 3rd round pick to move up and get a guy that they hope would be that guy. They hope Trey Lance could do that physically. He turned out to be a total bust. The San Francisco 49ers basically had to just dump him for a 4th round pick to Dallas. Total disaster, arguably the worst trade in NFL history. Now let's switch gears to the Seattle Seahawks. And again, this is what I love what Pete Carroll has done with Seattle. The entire era in Seattle, it's zigging where everyone is zagging. Instead of going out and looking out and say, okay, how do we find a quarterback that can be a little bit fitter to avoid injuries? How do we go out and find a quarterback that can maybe run a little bit better than our older Geno Smith? You know what they do? They empower guys like Geno Smith to develop themselves to become that player. It sounds so easy and simple. You've got a guy who's really good already, but there's a few things you would like more out of that position. Instead of just betting the farm trying to find another guy, Just work with that guy and support him to allow him to develop the skills and become that guy. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Geno Smith. So again, instead of the Seattle Seahawks, trading 4 first-round draft picks to get, say, Anthony Richardson in this year's draft class, you know what they do? They help Geno Smith and say, hey, man, you want to do your diet to, become a little leaner, a little thicker, maybe help with some injuries? Go right ahead. We support you 100%. Hey, you want to work on the running aspect of your game? Awesome. That's exactly what we're looking for too. Again, it sounds so simple and easy, but there are only a few teams, and the Seattle is the best one at it, at taking the players they have, empowering them to develop and grow into becoming better instead of constantly looking for upgrades. I think this is right there. This story right here, it doesn't seem like that big, but to me, this is the genius of the Pete Carroll era in the Seattle for the Seattle Seahawks. Is taking players and empowering them and supporting them and developing them into becoming better and better instead of constantly looking outside the organization for upgrades and just hoping it works out. What we're seeing from Geno Smith and what we're seeing from the Seattle Seahawks, this is exactly why they won a Super Bowl. This is why they're going to be a top contender this year. And frankly, in my opinion, I think this is the best team in the NFC West. I think they win that division this year.
Yeah, Nick. And one last thing, this reminds me of something we talk about a lot on this channel, relating the NFL to business, because it kind of is like a business. And this is the same decisions that Seattle's making that a lot of companies in the Fortune 500 world make. There's a lot of people that, they're like, okay, who can I try to poach from a different company to come in and make our organization better? Rather, the Seahawks approach is that promote from within. Let's build the talent from the ground up, keep these guys going and moving. And I think, like you said, that always kind of feels like it gives you better results. So Seahawks showing, once again, top tier organization.